I'm Adrienne Fast, Curator of Art and Visual Culture at the Reach Gallery Museum. Today I'm excited to talk to you about some of the work in a new exhibition that we recently opened at the Reach, titled Ever Elsewhere, Citing a Mennonite Imaginary, which was co-curated by myself and my colleague Diana Hebert. This exhibition brings together the work of 6 different contemporary Canadian artists of Mennonite heritage, who share a common interest in the experience of actual and imaginary borderlands and how migration has shaped ideas of identity and belonging. The works in the exhibition explore cultural nostalgia, the work of homing and rehoming, and some of the works also challenge some deeply held Mennonite values, like the importance of hard work, the relationship with land and agriculture, or a deep suspicion of adornment or unnecessary decoration. In this video, I want to introduce the work of 2 of the artists in the exhibition, Clint Neufeld and Corinna Wolff, and to explain how they engage with some of these ideas and themes. Clint Neufeld has become well known for meticulously creating weirdly beautiful car engines, transmissions, and other mechanical components out of cast ceramic, often delicately glazed or painted. And he does this in part in order to investigate the relationship between labor and beauty. In Ever Elsewhere, we have one of Neufeld's ceramic engines on display. The title of the work is 3 Deuces, which is a reference to the 3 double-barreled carburetors that sit on top of a Ford flathead engine, which is an iconic engine in hot rod culture. The piece draws on the artist's experience tinkering with engines alongside his Mennonite grandfather, and it functions both as a nod to the ultra-masculinity of hot rod culture, as well as a kind of disruption of it. You'll notice that the ceramic engine has been placed as though it's lounging on a Victorian-style couch, throwing into question the function of everyday objects and challenging our expectations of where people and things belong. Behind 3 Deuces, we see a large-scale projected video by Neufeld titled Smash. This short video shows one of Neufeld's ceramic engines being hoisted high in the air. Following a rather tense moment of literal suspense, the engine is released and we see it crash to the ground into a million pieces. It's a work that, to me, is almost equal parts satisfying and frustrating. There's a kind of guilty pleasure in seeing something that took so much time and skill to create being smashed to pieces. And it really throws the Mennonite belief in the useful object into question. The work of Corinna Wolff is displayed nearby, and it also explores ideas of decoration and usefulness. Wolff is an artist of combined Mennonite and Métis ancestry. Both groups have experienced waves of migration and resettlement, and Wolff uses her art practice to explore how those historical migrations have shaped her contemporary identity, and also the idea that migration itself can be perhaps a kind of territory. The work, titled Over Our Heads, is a series of 4 headpieces that the artist has meticulously embellished with detailed beadwork. Wolff initially became interested in women's head coverings when thinking about her paternal Mennonite grandmother, who always covered her hair with a small bonnet in a display of modesty. Here, the artist has taken a nightcap, a racing hat with ear flaps, a set of theatrical horns, and a flapper cap, and has decorated them with vibrant Métis beadwork, transforming them into symbols of self-empowerment through a combination of vibrant imagination and countless hours of detailed handwork. The artist described her process like this, quote, "The more I worked with the pieces, the more they became about empowerment and less about oppression. I imagined zooming around the countryside in the racing cap, dreaming big in the nightcap, dancing up a storm in the flapper cap, or taking on a very powerful persona in the theater mask." End quote. The companion piece, titled Where the Wind Took Me, is a large-scale composition that combines beading and birch bark, displayed in an elaborate gold frame. The piece was created soon after the artist moved from Canada to make a new home in northern Italy. The birch bark that forms the central path that winds through the piece is suggestive of Métis birch bark canoes. The bulk of the piece, however, is comprised of the traditional beadwork of Wolff's Métis ancestors, sometimes referred to as the flower bead people, which is used here to illustrate the flowers that the artist encountered in her wanderings through Italy. While the beadwork references the artist's Métis ancestry, it also embraces her new home, because some of the beadwork elements were actually gifted to her, half-finished, by an elderly Italian neighbor. By incorporating these gifted elements with hours of her own detailed labor, the artist carves out a new territory for herself, even thousands of miles away from the landscapes of her Métis and Mennonite ancestors. Thank you for watching, and please look for future videos exploring some of the other artists in this exhibition coming soon.